This is the most hostile comment section on YouTube, and I feel like I can say with a high degree of certainty that this is the longest argument ever in a YouTube comment section, lasting an entire year and spanning roughly 500 some replies. Now, this kind of anger, you would expect the video to be some kind of politically charged video, or maybe somebody said anime should be illegal or that lollies are a crime, something that really puts a hate boner where someone's flaccid cock once was. But what if I told you that the video that all of this is taking place on, the most aggressive comment thread on YouTube, was actually on a Paper Mario song? I'm going to take you on a journey through this war zone here. We're not going to read every reply just because there is so many. This thing's longer than the fucking Bible, honestly. But we're going to go through the big parts, the big moments here in the manga, make sure we get the gist of what's going on, because this may be one of the greatest stories ever told. It's got it all. It's got a little something for everyone. A story of betrayal, violence, love, terrorism, action, drama, mystery, and most of all, Mario. Chapter 1, The Catalyst. This is where it all begins. This is ground zero. Lunar1314 leaves a comment saying, I don't care if I get hate because of this opinion, but this is my favorite Paper Mario final boss song. A bold and brave hot take. Someone didn't tell Lunar that opinions are illegal on the internet. It's not the most controversial thing to say, it's simply a matter of liking a song. But this is the internet, and you can't like something that somebody else doesn't like. A lesson our boy Lunar here is about to learn the hard way. Enter the villain, Aramaru 1837, because you're like 9, haven't even played the other games, I guarantee you. And now, just like the Powerpuff Girls when the hotline rings, our hero rolls in, Dave Matthew. These are our primary characters. Of course, we get introduced to other important side characters throughout the season here. The lore gets very deep, trust me. But this is basically the Batman and the Joker, Dave and Aramaru. Dave sweeps in defense of Lunar. How about we agree that you are a jerk? Everyone can have their own opinion, and that is the internet, so no one cares about your opinion to begin with. Also, instead of throwing insults at me, why don't you try to get me to see things from your perspective? It would be a lot more time efficient, and unlike insults, actually accomplishes something in the long run. Or you can continue to assume that I am a mere child that does not know of the 5 other Paper Mario games, or was it 4? Or has even played them, both opinions being completely wrong. But as I said, it's the internet. We can go in circles all day and night and neither of us would get anywhere. So let's not, okay? Dave trying to get out ahead here and squash the beef, giving a fair warning to Aramaru that you do not want to fuck with Dave, but spoiler alert, Aramaru pokes the sleeping bear. You never gave your side, dumb fuck. All you did was come on here talking about some damn opinions or some shit. Pretty clear you didn't intend to accomplish anything. Also, you haven't played any other game, have you? It's not hard to know how many Paper Mario games there are, kid. 64, Thousand Year Door, Super Paper Mario, this garbage, and Color Splash, which was actually not bad, but was too weird gameplay-wise to be called a Paper Mario game. And it's this comment right here that makes a good boy go bad. You do not question Dave Matthews' understanding of the Paper Mario franchise, and you do not do it on a public forum like this, and be an asshole about it. The opinion haver that started all of this comes back in here, kicks open the doors to the Church of Paper Mario with tears in his eyes like he just watched his parents having a fight, saying, all I said was, this is my favorite final boss song in the Paper Mario series, but it turned into a huge fight and I don't understand that. And then Aramaru hits him with a hard dose of reality. You said you don't care if you get hate, so obviously you do understand, dumb fuck. Unfortunately, Lunar just doesn't understand that his initial comment was like the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, and now he's started a massive war. And in war, Lunar, there's casualties. I know you can say whatever you want, but please, can you please calm down and make a nice comment to people? Like I said, please not say about 1,000 cuss words with this reply, please. It's not hurting you to read a quick fuck. Look, I'm understanding everything you're saying. I'm just here to calm you down. Not everything in the world is solved by anger. Jedi Brooklyn Green comes in here and tries to reason with Sith Lord Aramaru here about how anger's not the key, but it's all for nothing because Aramaru has already been consumed by his anger. Like I said, I am cutting out a couple things here because there is so much of it, it'd be like a 10-hour video if I read the entire chain. Basically, in a nutshell, Dave was saying this is pointless, it's an internet argument, let's just drop this. And he concludes his monologue with, well, since we both agree that this whole thing is pointless, let us just agree to disagree and be on our way then. Aramaru, cool. so fuck off. Peace was never an option. Nah, seeing your pointless insults because you can't come up with an actual comeback to my remarks is rather funny to me. Heh, I thrive off your pointless rage. Thought it was done. Why you still here, idiot? As I said, I thrive off your rage and anger. You want me to stop? Stop being angry. Easy. Dave Matthews is slowly accumulating power like a spirit bomb fueled by Aramaru's rage. He is laughing in the face of Aramaru's anger. Not angry, dumb fuck. Piss off. See? Angry. Not angry, dumb fuck. Piss off. I see that you're running out of comebacks. I can give you a few if you need them. Dave, of course, being one of the world's leading comeback dealers. Not stressful, you're just annoying, lol. And there's plenty of music better than this shit, even from Color Splash. Uh-huh. Why don't you go back to your 1,000-year-old game and super overrated Paper Mario game? Your screen, oh boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. Oh wait, I broke it. If this was done, why did you reply? Metal Mario coming in here just spitting straight venom in the face of Aramaru here, lighting him on fire with the world's smallest violin comment. Nice try, dumb fuck, but I haven't even played any Paper Mario games except Color Splash. Now fuck off with your shitty excuses for jokes. People have better shit to read. When I initially made it to this chapter the first time and got blindsided by this plot twist, I fucking recoiled into my chair, threw my arms in the air. I was just so absolutely shocked. I felt like I was witnessing history, like I Am Your Father level twists here. This is subverting expectations done extremely well. Not Game of Thrones Season 8 bullshit. This is how you surprise a reader with a narrative plot twist. Who could have seen this coming? If you remember back to the genesis of this whole mess, it started with Aramaru melting down and breaking shit in his room over the fact that somebody liked a Paper Mario song he didn't like, and then accuses them of not having played any of the other Paper Mario games, and then only a short 100 replies later, he himself admits he's only ever played one Paper Mario game, and it's not even this one. It's so fucking remarkable. What an incredible twist. That is character development right there. Now we're getting a little bit of the origin story of Aramaru here, which only makes him even more mysterious. Well, I see my sympathy was misplaced. You seriously judge a game on what other people say about it? You sure have missed many a good game. Also, shame on you. Don't give out criticism if you don't actually have the knowledge to back it up. It's just stupid to say something's wrong and then give no evidence at all to support your theory. And that's researching 101. This guy Reddits. Also, it appears that you really do only know how to spit out insults. I'm gonna have fun with this. Hello again, my old friend. I see you're here to argue once again. Too bad this will end with you weeping, because your argument is less than the dust I'm sweeping. But you will not give up yet, because you don't realize that it's the internet. The internet. So you might as well be voiceless, as all arguments here are practically worthless. Dave Matthews goes full Robert Frost here with this personalized slam poem to Aramaru. I get that it's supposed to be a Sound of Silence parody, and it's executed wonderfully. A special song poem about the argument you still persist on despite the flaws in your argument. P.S. You still haven't told me what your favorite song in the series is. Did I ask? No, bitch, I didn't. Fuck off. Shut the fuck up. I didn't even read what you said because I just know it's dumb as shit, lol. Come on, man, he took the time to write an entire parody song for you. The least you could do is read the lyrics. For about 4 days, there was peace in the comment section where people were going over things they liked and didn't like about the game, and then Aramaru comes in full fury here, pitchfork in hand, ready to slap shit around. He reignites the argument by saying, obviously do if yo pussy ass won't just leave the conversation. Dave says, ha ha ha, now I remember why I stick around. I'd love to see what kind of pathetic retort and comeback you are going to make at me that I can easily tear apart. Really, it is rather satisfying to see what you come up with. Once again, there was a truce called in the comment section for about a week, and then Aramaru came back, and Dave immediately noticed. He's like the NORAD defense system, able to hone in on Aramaru's presence, and then attack. Oh, hello there. Ready for round 2, my little whiny failure? Round and round the argument goes, when will it stop no one knows. That meme has been dead, fucking idiot. I'm ready for you to piss off, you worthless fuck. I did not drag your pride through the mud and make you look like a brainless, arrogant maggot. You did. You destroyed your own argument. You ignored the statements that made you look like a fool. You chose to spit out nothing but insults. Your fault. Your stupidity. Deal with it. Or stick around and continue to look like a moron. It's entertaining, and besides, we win either way, and you lose either way. Dave hits him with some kind of superhero monologue right before he throws the bad guy in jail, and Aramaru says, "Don't care to read your arguments, lol. As a matter of fact, I only read the first reply, lol. Quit wasting my time and fuck off." "Then you are nothing but a bottom-barrel fool who will have no success in life. As I said, you don't bother to defend yourself at all. That makes you an idiot." "Also, why should I? You have no power here and you never will. The fact that you think you do just displays your idiocy for everyone. Besides, I already gave you the requirements for my departure. Or are you incapable of reading as well, my little maggot?" Everything Dave has been saying thus far sounds like the Rick and Morty copy pasta from Reddit. I mean, I think Dave is in the right here because Aramaru is a huge fucking asshole, but man, he's really going about all of it in a terrible way. A month goes by. Is he finally gone? Yeah, he is gone. Is he gone if your dumbass would just quit replying? I didn't even read shit you said. I told you that I would only leave if you either apologized for being rude, or if you went 10 comments without swearing. You are not good at remembering things, are you, my little maggot? Hello, little maggot. Just letting you know that I am still in this comment chain, just in case you thought you were rid of me or that you actually won this argument. Okay, bye now. This was after a month of him not replying, so Dave just really wants to continue this, and nothing makes me more uncomfortable than reading Dave keep calling someone my little maggot. Like, this must be how it feels for some girls when they hear the word moist. Every time I read him saying my little maggot, I just get like tingly and uncomfortable and break out into like a little profuse sweat. It's just yucky. I feel like I'm reading some old woman's fanfic where she's describing some weird sexual intercourse she had at a biker bar or something, and it's just making me uncomfortable. I don't know why he keeps calling this guy my little maggot. I don't give a fuck where you are, dumb bitch. Just like no one cares about you, my little maggot. This will be the last time you see Dave with this kind of confidence because he's about to meet the actual muscle here. Mr. Hater. If Aramaru was a supervillain, then Mr. Hater is a fucking turbo villain. He's a galactic villain, a universal threat, a divine being of villainy. I don't even know what to call him, a fucking raid boss of villainy. Because he comes in here and just starts slapping shit around. He's a big asshole as well, of course. But he brings Dave to his knees here. This is like when you're reading a comic book and the hero's in trouble. So Mr. Hater comes in here with a full chub, full erection, red alert. He calls out Dave in front of the entire classroom. "I see you have a superiority complex and are very self-centered. How very hypocritical. You're no better than him. Guess I gotta clean house and deal with little keyboard warriors like you myself." That is honestly like some Marvel's Thanos shit right there. Dave is still riding the high after he seemingly defeated Aramaru, so he replies to Mr. Hater with a large amount of confidence and a bit of arrogance, saying, "Heh, you poor naive fool. When did I ever claim that I was better than little maggot? That I'm better than you? Oh, to live in your little fantasy. Can you not see what I am doing? Or are you just as blind as he is? Of course I can tell you're cut from the same cloth as my little maggot, so I'll humor your attempts at insulting me and everyone else present. Let's see how long you last." Dave's still under the impression that he's the king of this Thunderdome, but what he hasn't realized yet is Mr. Hater's not locked in here with Dave. Dave is locked in here with Mr. Hater. "Oh, I know your intentions very well, and I intend to stop it. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? Just look at your comment, you poor naive fool, to live in your little fantasy. These are things that a narcissistic, self-centered man-child would say. How am I or anyone with half a brain cell supposed to take you seriously? There's a reason the other guy left. You won't last long, Dave. You won't last long because underneath all that bravado, you're just a sad little boy with delusions of grandeur, who, by the way, can't talk for shit. So here's a piece of friendly advice. Turn away now and stop wasting Aramaru's time, because if you don't, by the time this is over, you'll be my little maggot." No response. Guess I must have hit one of your soft spots, Winky. "So you actually have some bite, do you? Good. Let's see what you've got. I will compliment you on your use of insults, as well as how you get straight to the point." Dave is immediately showing that Mr. Hater has hurt him. You can't do that, Dave. You can never show weakness to a man like Mr. Hater. He can smell blood in the water. He can smell cum in a bathtub. He will pounce, and you can't let him find any amount of scrapes on your armor. Dave, he showed a weakness, and Mr. Hater exploited it, unfortunately. Heh, of course you didn't realize. I wasn't talking about Lunar. I was talking about you and me. We don't care what others think of our opinion. We just say whether we agree or disagree with someone's opinion. In that way, we are alike, you and I. Don't you agree? I love this exchange here. This is like the season finale here when the two characters are monologuing at each other before they start beating each other with like a stick or something. Ah, I see you're trying to get on my good side. As you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. How about this, Dave? Write a full paragraph apologizing to Aramaru, and I might consider agreeing with you. And, by the way, it has to be real nice, so no calling him my little maggot. Otherwise, I might just start calling you that myself. That would require me to have a single shred of respect towards little maggot, and in case you did not read the whole conversation, I did apologize to him. He threw it back in my face and used it to insult me without responding to it whatsoever. You, on the other hand, are actually participating in a discussion, while my little maggot only responds with the same insults like he's a broken fax machine. You, I respect, little wasp. I forgot to click read more for the screenshot, but it said, I do not respect little maggot. So now Dave, for some reason, is calling Mr. Hater Little Wasp. I don't understand where he's getting this from. Maybe like from old 60s movies or something where it was cool. And then he references a fax machine, which hasn't been in use for the last 30 years. So I just don't know what's really going on here. Maybe Dave is caught in a time vortex and he's communicating with us from the past. And he's only able to communicate through the comment section of Paper Mario Final Boss Song. But yeah, just really fucking love this part here. This feels like the climax of the entire argument. Dave going with the whole, we're not so different, you and I. We're one of the same. It's like some shit you'd see in Naruto Sasuke right before their final fight. It's fucking wonderful. You make a fair point. I shall apologize to him, but do not expect a paragraph. You make sound arguments, Mr. Wasp. I'm not one to call someone by childish names, but you are very hypocritical after all, so I expect nothing less. Anyway, do go ahead. Where's the apology? I don't see it. Mr. Hater's trying to rush this. It hasn't even been a full day at this point. Mr. Hater, he wants that apology ASAP. So now you can see Mr. Hater has assumed control of this entire argument. The entire tone has shifted here, and now Dave is at the mercy of Mr. Hater, and he wants his homework. Do not rush me. It's been 2 days now, so no excuses. You aren't going to apologize, are you? I figured as much. If you wish to continue arguing, then be my guest, kid. Dave is starting to panic a little bit. He doesn't want to write this apology because he does not respect Aramaru, but he is afraid of Mr. Hater, so he's caught in between a rock and a hard place here, and he's treading water in the comment section. 1, I have a life at the moment. 2, you need a little bit of patience. 1 word. College. You don't go to college, David. Then you clearly set your expectations of me far too low. A shame, really. I thought you would be smart enough to not do what little maggot did. Stop lying to yourself, David. How about you tell me what's actually going on? College, as I said before. Do you not listen, or are you refusing to believe that I have a life outside of this? Now, if you excuse me, I have a music class to attend. I really don't understand why Dave even feels compelled to keep answering at this point. He doesn't want to write the apology. He shouldn't write an apology, honestly. He just doesn't have to reply to Mr. Hater. He can just wash his hands of this whole thing and still come out as the victor. But for some reason, he keeps engaging with Mr. Hater in here, and Mr. Hater's pressure is somehow like leaking into Dave's real world, it seems, because it feels like he's stressing about this apology, which he shouldn't write in the first place. Mr. Hater goes in on Dave, starts poking holes into his claims about college because 4 months ago it was still coronavirus shutdown, so classes weren't going on, so Dave feels the need to defend himself again. And then he kind of just explains he just doesn't want to fucking apologize, which he shouldn't. I'm glad he doesn't. Dave says, 1, truthfully, I don't want to apologize to Armu because I know for a fact it would not be genuine, and no matter how much I hate a person, I'm not going to insult them by giving them a mocking, half-assed apology. And 2, online classes are a thing that exists, and I'm not doing just a music class. Who is the antagonistic one here? Because it definitely isn't me. You poor, pathetic whelp. barking and baying like anything you say will ever matter. No, your words don't hurt me because they are artificial, fake, designed, and spoken for the sole purpose of inflicting pain without putting actual feeling behind it. Ha, ha 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 ha. No, your words are hollow and do not deserve the electrons my brain cells would have to burn to process them, just like you. You're not special, you're not unique, you're not important, and you never will be, not now, not ever. So go ahead whelping, keep making a fool of yourself. I'll just watch the show, laughing all the while. And in your ivory tower of hypocrisy, did you ever once realize I never denied what you have been saying? You are a parasite, Mr. Hater. Something that must tear everyone down to justify their worthless existence. Perhaps I am one too, but that's where our similarities end. You lash out at anyone you see as below you. I lash out at people who do what you and Armu did. Insult and tear into someone because they dared to have an opinion you did not agree with, or lash out at people who defend themselves from other people like you. I never said I was better. But does it really matter in the end? At the end of the day, one of us looks like the bad guy to everyone else. And since I haven't been antagonizing everyone participating in this, it most definitely not me who's the bad guy. Try to say I'm wrong here. You're not wrong, Dave. Not at all. And people like Aramaru and Mr. Hater, yeah, they suck a lot of fat ass. It's sad that someone cares this much about someone's opinion on something that doesn't matter. 100%. Agree with you entirely there, Dave. But the way you're handling all this and then putting this huge, presidential speech here is not good either. This is the wrong way of handling any of this. And there's really just no point in arguing in a YouTube comment section to begin with. There are no winners here. Mr. Hater breaks down his response line by line. You lash out at anyone you see as below you. Dave, don't be ridiculous. I'm not as narcissistic as you, or at all for that matter. I lash out at anyone who do what you and Armu did. A mistake you will regret, as you have started all of this, and I aim to end it. The two go back and forth about the apology that Dave doesn't want to write. Mr. Hater just keeps picking apart each line of everything he says. My words are said solely to get you to leave. That's never going to happen, Dave. I've grown very persistent over the years, and trust me, persistence pays, and I will stay here for months if I had to. Will you? Yeah, big guy, I'm sure your persistence pays, living in a fucking comment chain for months. How productive and incredible. There are just some people who live their life to argue online, and it's sad as shit. This guy is the perfect example, willingly saying I will stay in this fucking thread for months because I have nothing else going on in my life. That is pathetic. That's fucking sad, Mr. Hater. Apology seems unlikely. Then you will perish here eventually with me, as it's either you apologize to Aramaru now and we'll be on our way, or we're going to be staying here for a long, long time. So, with that being said, let's just start all over on a positive note. We aren't going to start all over on a more positive note until you start apologizing, Dave. Are you going to apologize for your own hostility? Short answer, no. Unlike you, I did nothing wrong, Dave. So it's either you apologize to Aramaru and behave, or you slowly perish with me for months. Either way, I consider it a win-win. And this is where the story stops. I mean, it goes on a little bit further, but nothing is more pathetic than this mic drop from Mr. Hater. These are the people you argue with online, people that have actually nothing better to do. He considers it a win-win if someone is perishing, wasting their time in a comment section with him. That's so fucking sad. He considers it successful if he wastes somebody else's time and wastes his own time because he's already miserable in the first place. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. 3 months after all of this went down, as the dust was starting to settle, Mr. Hater and Dave just stopped communicating with each other, and there was just momentary bliss as everyone read through the thread. And then Yoshi comments, tagging Aramaru, and Aramaru's been tagged this entire time. Yoshi just points out it's been 10 months, but 64 really good, kind of basic, 1,000 Year Door, bop, and all this. Just kind of breaks down his opinion of the music. And then Aramaru, from out of fucking nowhere, comes out of retirement to deliver one of the most powerful conclusions to any story ever given. I don't give a fuck about your opinion, this song is still shit. What a beautiful way of wrapping all of this up. But yeah, anyway, the last interaction between our main characters was 4 months ago. From what I checked today, there wasn't any new developments that I noticed. A few more people have been made aware of this because it was posted on Twitter. That's how I found it. And this has just been truly a joy. Delightful to read through. So just keep all this in mind next time you think you're confident enough to leave an opinion on a Paper Mario song. That's about it. So yeah. For too long I've buried my head in the sand, plugging my ears, pretending nothing's wrong. But it's time to finally rise and hit you with the cock meat surprise. It's a subject a lot of people have asked me to weigh in on, and I just haven't really bothered until now. Jacksepticeye recently made a video talking about it, and it's something that I feel I should also talk about as well, since it's so highly requested. It has to deal with a problem that YouTube's been facing for about a year now, and I expected it to be resolved by now, but it's showing no signs of improving or getting better, so might as well address it since a lot of people have also noticed it. And it has to deal with the comment section. The YouTube comment section is inflicted with the scarlet rot. It is just being fucking poisoned by bots and spammers. When you think of hopeless misery, you probably immediately picture Twitter. But then right above that, you have the YouTube comment section. For a really long time, it's had a very negative reputation, and for good reason. YouTube comment section is where basic reasoning goes to die, for the most part. And depending on where you end up on YouTube, you can find some of the most outrageous shit imaginable with hundreds of updates supporting it, and then like a full 500 reply thread on it. I remember a long time ago, it must have been like almost 2 years ago now, I was watching a flat earth rap video, and the top comment was someone talking about how they had a nightmare that an octopus inked them, and it somehow like helped them achieve enlightenment, like this blissful nirvana, and they were able to see like interdimensional celebrity demons or something, and they went on and on with this like crazy fanfic, and it had tons of updates, and then all of the replies were like, oh my god, I had the same dream, we're somehow connected, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm getting carried away. Point is, the YouTube comment section has always, for like the entire history of YouTube, been a weird and wacky wasteland. However, it has never been as bad as it currently is, because now it is completely infested with bots and spammers, and I'm sure you've seen them. If you leave a comment on any YouTube video, including this one, I guarantee it, if you leave any comment, all of the replies, and you'll get somewhere between like 2 and 10 replies, and all of them are bots saying the same shit in different ways. The big ones are, this guy's content is garbage, I'm making straight bangers on my channel, click here. And sometimes the bots are sophisticated enough to somehow slip a link past the link block. So they'll sometimes just drop a link to something, whether it's a YouTube video or a website, be like, this video is super sucky, this is a stinker-rooney on the highest level, look at this link, this video is amazing, or I just found this guy's chat logs on this website, click here to look at it, I've been crying all day after reading it. And if you make the mistake of clicking on any of these channels or clicking these links, you'll find that on the channels there's no videos, so I imagine it's maybe to grab your IP or something fucking weird, I don't know, but most of the time there's not even a single video there. And if you make the mistake of clicking a link, you're absolutely going right to a fucking phishing scam. And if it's a link to a YouTube video, you're absolutely going to a really fucking sketchy YouTube video with 009 soundscape blasting in some kind of Windows Movie Maker tutorial. Like, it's the weirdest shit. It's like the bots are somehow stuck in 2009, and yet they are still spamming the comment section on every single comment. They're replying to all of them, and almost immediately too, which is why a lot of people don't comment anymore, because you can't really have a discussion since it's taken up with the bots. No sane person wants to leave a comment on a YouTube video and get 50 notifications just having their fucking phone blow up, vibrating like it's a perpetual Amber Alert, all with notifications that McButtmaster42 has replied to your comment 10 times saying the same shit like, hey, I'm making heaters over here, stop by. So obviously most people don't want to comment anymore because of this, so it ruins whatever discussion may have taken place. Contrary to popular belief, I, and many others, do at least peruse the comments from time to time, especially on things like the Moist Meter, because I like to hear what other people are saying about the same movie or same game that I experienced, because I like it. I like to engage in that kind of discussion, which is why I like streaming on Twitch so much, because I get to real time go back and forth with actual human beings. But on YouTube, humanity is extinct in the comment section, overrun by the machines. It's full-blown Skynet. If Skynet was run by actual fucking imbeciles. It's straight up dog shit. It's blatantly obvious bots. And when it's not just the same copy and pasted shit, what they're doing is they'll have like a picture of some girl's fat fucking titties, like some big honking milkers, and it'll say like, tap here for sex with me, and then they'll copy and paste whatever the top comment is that looks like it was made by someone with a pulse. So for example, on one of my Elden Ring videos, if the top comment was, wow, Charlie might be the most talented gamer of all time, he truly has achieved turbo super gamer barbarian status, then the tap sex for me, tap me for sex, fucking tap here for sex with me, those channels with like big ass out, like goat seeing themselves in the profile picture, what they'll do is they'll copy and paste that comment as their own so that way it doesn't look like they're a bot, hoping that someone will read that comment, think it was a real person that made it, and then click on their channel and get scammed. Because you're not having sex with that person. It's just a bot, but it's pretty smart in that it's copy and pasting a comment from a real person and trying to make it like their own. So it's such a fucking war zone of garbage in the comment section, all fought by non-humans, just actual robots. So it is ruining the comment section. It genuinely is, and it has been for like a full year now. And it's not just like the sexual scams like MILFs are looking for you, click here to watch me spread my pussy and say your name. More than just that, even aside from that, there's one that is bigger, a much more prevalent comment ruining trend. And it comes from verified channels, actual YouTube channels, real fucking verified checkmark channels, and they are all leaving the same copy and pasted note on every single channel. And I'm sure you've seen it, and you will see it under this one, and it goes something like this. We can all agree that this YouTuber never disappoints us with their content. And it usually has like a lot of, thumbs up, the updates off the charts because it seems like a positive statement. And it's coming from a verified channel, so people that are human beings are most likely just clicking the up dude on that, and they'll say like, oh yeah, that was sweet, agreed, super sweet, this YouTuber's amazing. But what it is that verified channel is just pasting that on every single channel they can find. It is, again, a bot. They're not manually doing it. I am certain that they're using a bot or some kind of script to paste that on every channel that they can find that has like any following whatsoever, in the hopes that when people see that, they're like, oh, this verified YouTuber is also a fan of my favorite YouTuber. Let me check out their content. They're being really supportive. Let's see what they're about. So they're hoping to leech a couple of people from the comment section by pretending like they care about what they watched. Even though they didn't watch it, they're not being supportive. It's just more copy and paste. It's all so similar, but they do change it up occasionally. For example, this verified YouTuber has left this exact comment on my videos for the last couple months. I tell ya, he must really love the consistency and quality of my content. And I love the consistency and quality of his comments too. Very insightful. He's very much into it, I can tell. So like I said, it's a ton of variations, but they're all saying the same shit, and it's copy and pasted everywhere on the platform. We can all agree legendary creators like this make our days. We can all come to an agreement here that fucking epic YouTubers like this make our dicks rock fucking hard, baby. Make sure to click my channel. I'm verified. Check it out. Don't forget. It's disgusting. It's shameless. And I can't imagine it even works, because when you go to their channels, and I have made the mistake of checking it out, they only get like maybe 10 views on the videos. Like I don't want to give any of the channels away here because they're looking for attention, obviously. But one of them had like 500,000 subs, and all of their videos had less than 200 views. So either this YouTuber fell off harder than Simba's dad in The Lion King, or it's a bot. Fake. And their subscribers are not humans. They just paid for it, and they're all bots. Not a legitimate account. Now, there's really nothing to do as the YouTuber here to combat this phenomenon happening in the comment section. You can set like blocks on certain phrases, words, links, and all that, but they somehow always find a way to get around it. Just like Jacksepticeye mentioned, they'll change certain phrases, they'll change a couple of things, and somehow it just slips on by again. There's just no way to really stop it. It'd have to come from YouTube's end to verify whether or not the account posted in the comment is a legitimate account or a bot. And I don't have like the real solution here. I don't have the answers. I just wanted to talk about the problem. There is no solution at the moment, but I would love if the comment section could actually be going back to human beings discussing things and human beings embarrassing themselves instead of robots doing it and trying to scam each other. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this since Jacksepticeye brought it up, and a lot of people have noticed it in my comment section as well and have been asking me about it to do something. There's not a whole lot I can do. This would have to come from YouTube's end as a platform-wide change in how they identify what are and are not bots. That's like the only way to stop it. And I don't know if that's coming anytime soon. I don't even know how they do it if they tried. But I just wanted to at least bring it to your attention and let you all know that, yes, I see what's going on too. And I'm also not happy about it. So yeah, that's about it. See ya. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that I look and sound like a Redditor, which is one of the most insulting things you can ever say about another human being. But what if I force-fed you a hard truth? What if I told you I don't really use Reddit? My narwhal doesn't bacon at midnight. I'll occasionally go on there just to see if there's any breaking news that I might be unaware of, but it's very infrequent. And I never, go into the swamp of a comment section on the platform until today. I don't know what possessed me to do this. It must have been some kind of divine moment that just grabbed me by the shoulders and possessed me, told me that I needed to read some comments today, and I am so thankful I did. I stumbled upon true beauty with an argument that could only ever happen on Reddit, that perfectly encapsulates the quintessential Reddit user. In this moment, I am euphoric, thanks to finding this fucking angry Redditor and everyone who engaged with him on this day. It started in the most unsuspecting location, but then again, that's where all good fairy tales begin. In the place you least expect them. So, it was a clip posted from this podcast. Now, the clip doesn't matter. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm sure you probably already recognize the person here. Her name is Bobby. She runs a podcast where she interviews famous celebrities, and her whole shtick is she makes things awkward, which is a very hit or miss format, so it's led to a lot of debate on why is she so popular. Also, is she an industry plant because she seemingly blew up overnight? She landed an interview with Drake while she was still relatively new and not massive, so it just started raising a lot of red flags, and a lot of people started saying it must be an industry plant, and then she started getting even more superstar celebrities. Like, this clip is from an interview she did with Lil Yachty, and it's just been a lot of hoopla around her and her content. The only reason I'm even giving you this lore dump is because it is necessary to put into context what started this argument. And it's the entire reason I went into the comment section, really, of this video. You see, Bobby's content is very polarizing. On TikTok, people love Bobby. They're cheering her on, pumping their fist. Go Bobby! Let's get it! Fuck yeah! And then on Twitter, it's boo! Oh brother, she stinks! Get out of town, scram, this is garbage. So two very different responses to her content on two different platforms, but I've never really seen Reddit's opinion on it. I've never seen them weigh in, and curiosity got the best of me. I marched into Mordor, went to the comments in order to get an answer to the question, and most of the comments were pretty negative towards the interview, but there was one comment that spawned a whole series of dominoes to fall. So let's begin our journey. I'm going to blank out their name here. I don't want anyone to go harass anyone involved in this situation. So this individual comes forth and says, "What grown man sits down and watches this bullshit, then have the nerves to repost this garbage to Reddit?" Now this comment received a lot of love, over 400 upvotes, which is nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of high quality karma. Unfortunately, no Reddit Gold, Reddit Platinum, or Reddit Silver was gifted to it, so we weren't blessed with the edit "thanks for the gold, stranger," or anything like that, but still, the community responded very positively to this comment, and most of the comment section here echoed the same sentiment that they didn't really understand the appeal of the clip. Now, all of this doesn't matter. You can wipe your ass with all of this now, because going forward, this comment spiraled into something that had nothing to do with the original post anymore, and it went fucking insano style. Now we're introduced to our primary antagonist of Season 1. So, from out of nowhere, our main character gets challenged. Someone steps in and says, "Lol, you're on the Hot Wheels sub, dude. Weird to take shots at what grown men should be into when your interests include Hot Wheels. Different people like different things. Leave it be." So he goes into the post history of this individual and notices that they are a frequent poster on the Hot Wheels subreddit, and he's using it to take some shots at him to try and showcase, like, hey man, you say grown men shouldn't be into that, but I could also say grown men shouldn't be into Hot Wheels. You see how that works? And he's not wrong. He's coming for the throat here. You could absolutely say the same thing. What grown men would be so into Hot Wheels that they'd go on to Reddit and talk about it all the time? I personally have no problem with that at all, and I don't think this poster does either. He's just using it to make a point. I think whatever hobby you're into, whatever you collect, I think it's great. I think that shit slaps. Having something that you're passionate about that you would collect it, I think is a cool thing. I mean, I have fucking cards framed on my wall from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, right? Like, I get it. But this really struck a nerve with this guy. He responded by saying, "Grown man liking cars? Who would have thought? I see you ignored all the other subs. Maybe I should waste my time on rap and movie subs like all the other low IQ Redditors across the pond." And if you're an astute observer, you'll notice that he's no longer enjoying the luxury of some updoots. The subreddit has turned against him, thrown him to the wolves. He is now being flooded with downvotes. And a downvote is a fate worse than death to a Redditor. It's kryptonite to Superman. The downvotes start hitting him, over 100 downvotes. And I can see why. This feels very insecure to come at him like this. Like, his point was pretty clear, but then he, tries to, I don't know, explain away why it's, really in line with being a grown-ass man because he likes cars. He's like, oh, well, yeah, grown men like cars, Hot Wheels are cars, duh. I mean, maybe I should just go to rap and movie subreddits like you low IQ plebeians. It's really, really cringy Reddit behavior now. The bad boy comes back with a tough-to-swallow pill. Hot Wheels aren't cars, mate. They're toys. Talk about low IQ, haha. You're not better than anybody else, sorry to tell you. To which he responds, the fact you had to come back and edit that pathetic response, LMAO. And then he just says, go play with your vroom vrooms. His collection of downvotes is starting to eclipse his collection of Hot Wheels cars at this point. They just keep pouring in. As you can see, most people are rallying behind the other guy who's just saying, brother, they're toys, not real cars. And he's right. He is fluent in facts. He is spittin'. They are not real cars. They are toys. There's nothing wrong with collecting them or liking them, but I don't understand why this goofball is talking about it as if they are real vehicles. He's like, got this bravado going on, like this machismo, like, oh yeah, grown men liking cars, who would have thought? It's Hot Wheels, man. They're still collectible toys that you can play with, and they are made for kids, but there's nothing wrong with liking them or collecting them as an adult. Fucking Pokemon cards are made for kids too. I collect them. There's no shame in it, but you're acting so insecure about it and pretending that it's something that it's not. And he does the classic Reddit 101 when it comes to argument, where he doesn't actually address what was said. He just says, LMAO, edited your pathetic response, big L, basically. His response wasn't pathetic, it was totally fine. You didn't counter it or anything at all. He just made you look foolish, and you continue to make yourself look like even more of a clown here. In response to the vroom vroom comment, he says, I'm changing spark plugs on my 700 horsepower F-150 right now. I will when I get done, though. And now, here enters the sidekick to our main supervillain here, who chimes in and says, you're trying too hard. To which this guy responds, actually, I'm low on boost. If I was trying too hard, I'd be at 950 horsepower range. It doesn't get more Redditor than that. Oh my fucking god. I could feel the fedora tip through the computer screen here. Milady, my horsepower is quite low, actually. It's just, shit, it hurts to read. It really does. The guy's absolutely right. He is trying so hard. I half expected him to go into the Navy SEALs copy pasta. What'd you say to me, you little bitch? I've got 500 confirmed Hot Wheels with 6,000 horsepower and 400 RPM turbo booster NOS accelerators. Brother, it's Reddit. You're not Dominic Toretto. You're talking about Hot Wheels. It's not that deep. Even if he was being honest and was changing the spark plugs in his F-150, why would you say that? It just makes you look like such a fucking loser to say that during your heated little scuffle online. It's so cringy. If that's what you were actually doing, keep it to yourself. You don't need to try and prove that you're a man to a stranger on Reddit. All hell breaks loose right now, and the Cringe is rated E for everyone, because he starts just lashing out at anybody in the thread. So someone else made a comment, and he went through his post history, I believe, and found that he was on, the WWE subreddit. So he calls him out saying, WWE isn't real, bro, sorry to tell you. Maybe you should pick up a real hobby like learning about cars. To which they respond, toys. A slam dunk. He's right. It's all fucking about Hot Wheels so far. So then he comes back and says, yes, I'm not delusional like you, Mr. SmackDown vs. Raw. That's not even an insult. The WWE is extraordinarily popular. Hot Wheels Henry is just really scrapping for any morsel, any crumb of an insult that he can, slap together. And it's not working. It's not. He's fighting like 16 different battles from all fronts here on this comment thread, and he's losing every single one of them. Our boy then goes full armchair psychologist. You actually are ashamed deep down. That's the whole reason you chimed in on my comment. You felt attacked when I said, what grown man watches this? It brought back traumatic memories of you being bullied for liking WWE in this day and age. He's like, no, I commented just because of the toxicity. To which he says, I'd rather have a Hot Wheels collection in my garage next to my turbo truck than have Rey Mysterio and Triple H posters all over my wall. I don't know who's getting bullied for liking the WWE in this day and age. It's extraordinarily popular. Maybe like 10 years ago, but today, no shot. I think he's fighting ghosts with that one. You're much more likely to get bullied for collecting Hot Wheels cars as a grown-ass man. Case in point. Though, he's not actually getting bullied for that because no one really has a problem with what you collect as a hobby. The reason people are making fun of him here in the subreddit is because of his attitude, where he views his hobby as just superior to whatever else everyone's interested in. Oh, you see, no, I actually collect Hot Wheels cars, like a real grown, grizzled, strong, big-muscled man, not this lame garbage. Like, it just sounds like pinky up, high off your own fumes, sniffing your own farts kind of garbage where you view yourself as superior than others just because you think your interests are better. So you're just shitting on everyone else who called it out. Like, no one cares if you collect Hot Wheels cars in your garage and it's right next to your fucking Optimus Prime truck. Yeehaw. That's great. You're just being an asshole about it, which is why people are just making fun of you in the subreddit. His rampage continues, and this time he's pissing on sacred, hallowed ground. He insults RuneScape. He says, you drive a stock car and play RuneScape, I know you're drowning in pussy. He's saying it sarcastically. So he checked the comment history of this guy, saw that he played RuneScape, and he's using it to attack him. Which is a wild one. Like, yeah, RuneScape's got some, less than stellar things about it, but there's nothing wrong with RuneScape at all. It's still an extremely popular MMO that is well loved to this day. And the guy's like, I don't understand how a dude who plays with toy cars thinks he's above people on movie and rap subreddits and people who play RuneScape. We're all on the same site getting in our respective nerdy communities. What makes toy cars better than talking about media or playing a game? Which is fair. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And then he just goes, you don't understand because you can't even turn a wrench on your own car. Of course, a mechanic is going to be into Hot Wheels considering he works around cars all day. Do you need me to further break it down for you to understand? Oh, just that aura of insecure loser is very potent. It's like in Bleach when they first meet Kenpachi and his spiritual pressure is so strong that it just glues people to the ground, they can't even stand up. That's what his loser aura is doing to me right now. It's rough. Why do you feel the need to defend your hobby when no one's actually attacking that? They're attacking your behavior, where you think what you do is better than everyone else and can't understand that different people are going to like different things and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the only thing people are picking apart. That's what started this whole thing. You were saying, who watches this garbage? What grown man would do this? And one other guy was like, hey, you're a grown man who plays with Hot Wheels. You understand? Like, different people like different things. It could have been so easy to just meet in the middle, shake hands, and be like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, this wasn't for me. Just like Hot Wheels collecting, maybe not for you. But he just refuses to accept that reality. Instead, he's just going, no, you don't understand because you can't turn a wrench in your own car. He just keeps diving in on things other people like. Do you just really call RuneScape a fun multiplayer game? Responding to someone saying that it was a fun game, there's nothing wrong with it. You're not playing COD, dude. You're playing a game that's synonymous with virgin weirdos like yourself. Deaf embarrassing. He's just trying way too hard. I can feel the tears in his eyes as he types these comebacks. Now, up until this point, I had a big smile on my face reading these for the first time, but when I read his next response here, I let out an audible gasp. So the guy, once again, is still going in about RuneScape, like, it's just an MMO, whatever, you're being a judgmental prick, and can't handle it when people roast you back. So you start combing through comment histories, Massive Redditor mindset. And his response is, I can definitely handle it, LMAO. I just shit on 10 different no-lifes, including you, that wanted to be relevant. There's multiple comments saying who watches this, but of course you want to reply to mine for the free clout and upvotes from the Fim girls. I don't even know what fantasy land this guy's in. He just went into Narnia, and he's not coming back, I guess. We've lost him for good in delusion. Farming the free clout from a Reddit comment section? What clout? And where did the Fim girls come from? And I don't understand. There's so many layers to this onion, I don't even know where to begin with picking it apart. So, first of all, he can't handle anyone roasting him back. He has showcased that very beautifully. He's had a full-blown conniption over this. He did not shit on 10 different people. He just made a fool of himself in response to 10 different people. And he says that they just wanted to be relevant. So I'm guessing this guy has a huge ego, and he thinks that he's some kind of Reddit power user, perhaps? Like, his karma speaks for itself, right? Like, this is a big guy. And you guys are only responding to him because they're trying to suckle some clout from his teats, his big, ample bosom of relevancy. It's wild. It's so wild to me. So I went to his account because I did a double take. Is this like a big Reddit user? No, he's not. Like, I don't know what like the highest upper echelon of Reddit karma farming is, like the biggest karma accounts, but his is not very high. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. But even if it was, if he's the #1 Reddit poster, there is no such thing as Reddit clout for commenters. That doesn't exist. Like, Reddit is the only social media platform where if you're extremely active, the #1 account on Reddit, it doesn't do dick for you. It does less than nothing for you. If you get Twitter famous, you can at least turn that into some kind of like sponsorship revenue or lead people to other platforms to maybe follow you. Now you can even make direct ad revenue from engagement, I guess. TikTok, obviously, you can make a whole career out of. Even Facebook, obviously, YouTube, Twitch, every other social media platform, if you are a power user of it and get like a big audience on there, you can make a whole career out of it. Reddit, if you dedicate your life to being a Reddit power user, all you do is get laughed at. That's your big reward. You get insulted for wasting your time. It is the only social media platform where you cannot make a career out of being a power user of it. So even if he was the #1 user on here, it wouldn't matter. And there's no clout that anyone would be able to get from this exchange. This was just one of the most bafflingly out of touch comments I think I've ever read on that platform. Now, another Redditor came in and said, no way you just said free clout when referring to Reddit comments, also stunned by the statement, and he double responds here saying, your plan worked, dude. You got all the femboys wanting to suck you off. And since we're on Reddit, I'll just go ahead and do it. You used the wrong form of your, actually. And then his next response is, y'all should become friends and play together. Y'all would fit in perfectly with the rest of the RuneScape community. I'm at a loss for words. This is kind of where the whole thing ends. And man, what a banger of an exchange it was. It's just such an adventure. All starting from someone mentioning his Hot Wheels hobby. And look at where we ended up, huh? Look at us now. Who would have thought? This is a wacky argument. Probably my favorite Reddit argument that I've got to actually find for myself. I got to come into this in the wild. I didn't get linked to this. No one told me about this. I just happened to be perusing the comment section and then saw this argument unfold. And I got to go on an unexpected journey with it. And I really just had to share it. I had to. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. This is going to be pathetic to say out loud, but I was about to go to bed, but then just kept thinking about a tweet that I read 3 days ago that's just been living in my head rent-free, and I got upset again. It's like an itch that I have to keep scratching. It doesn't go away. You know how a lot of people will get into like a minor argument or see something or hear something that makes them upset, and then they'll start replaying that moment in their head over and over again while they're in the shower, coming up with the perfect responses and comebacks to it, and just have like this full-blown debate in their own mind about it? That's what I keep doing with this tweet that I read 3 days ago. It's not even a big deal either, but it just keeps crawling under my skin. It's like that scene in The Mummy where that little scarab thing goes into that guy's body and just keeps crawling around. That's what this tweet is doing to me. It's fucking eating me alive. I just keep replaying in my head the time that I read that and every thought that I keep having about it. So I'm just gonna make a whole video talking about it. I made a tweet vaguely addressing it. I'm not gonna show the tweet itself for obvious reasons. I don't want anyone to harass the people that were involved in the thread. So let's go ahead and stuff this turkey. To break it down into a nutshell, the thread was arguing that teabagging in video games is sexual assault and traumatizing. They even briefly told a story that they watched their teammate get teabagged and it completely ruined them. Also, a quick shout out to the Galaxy Brain, Harvard scholarship winning, Millennium math problem solving, turbo genius that came into the thread to make a little cameo and say that it's a necrophilic act that should be criminalized. Hey, big ups there, buddy. Where do I even begin? Chapter 1. It's a fucking video game. It's not real. It's not used in a sexual way or with any actual sexual context to it. No one's teabagging their opponent in a game and then ejaculating into their britches about it. Unless, of course, they're extremely happy that they outplayed somebody or something. No one's gonna get teabagged and feel violated, or at least they shouldn't if they're grounded in reality. You can feel mad that you're getting teabagged, like, damn, not only did I get my fucking cheeks spread open, but now I'm also getting teabagged by this douchebag. You can be mad about that because that's the whole point. It's a taunt. Also, the purpose of a teabag isn't even sexual in nature. It's just a form of taunting. It's no different than in Fortnite busting out an emote when you clap cheeks, just getting you with one of these, and then hitting the old default dance in Orange Justice or whatever. That's the same thing that teabag is used for in games that don't have emotes that allow you to do it. And in Fortnite, I'm sure it happens too, because it's just a classic taunt. It's supposed to be tilting. That's why so many games have so many tools for it, whether they're emotes or maybe even sprays. Like, let's say, God forbid, you've made some mistakes and you're still playing Overwatch, but you make a good play in Overwatch and you're feeling good, so you spray sorry on the ground right next to your victim. Now they see that and now they're upset. You've taunted them. There's just so many ways of taunting, and teabagging is one of them in games that don't typically have it. For example, Halo. Halo doesn't have any emotes. You're not going to see Master Chief busting out the gritty after getting a kill to taunt you. All you can do in Halo for taunting is the teabagging. So if someone wants to be toxic or try and put you on tilt and ruin your mentality during the game and make you upset, they'll teabag you instead of using an emote like they would in Fortnite or something. But it's not sexual. They're not going over there and being like, can't wait to dip my fucking greasy, filthy sack on this person's face and make them feel all yucky and violated. Ooh, I have so much power over you and I'm so dominant. Look at me drop my scrotum on your mouth. No one's doing that. They're doing it as a, just killed you, now I'm gonna make you feel silly, here comes a taunt. If you truly believe that teabagging is the equivalent to real-world sexual assault, then you should also believe that shooting and killing in those games is equivalent to real-world murder. But most people don't believe that because it's a fucking video game. It's in the cyberspace, goddammit. No one's actually getting murdered in Fortnite or Roblox or anything like that. When you shoot and kill someone in Roblox, no one has actually died except for some fucking pixels on the screen. But for some reason, that same basic level of logic doesn't apply to the teabag in Valorant, I guess. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I want to make it clear. For a lot of games, they really discourage teabagging, but not because they think it's sexual assault, but because it's poor sportsmanship. So I know Killer Instinct, for example, has banned it. Killer Instinct is a fighting game, and I don't know if they still have it banned, but I do remember there was a time where it was banned, and in Killer Instinct in the fighting game, if you crouch up and down a lot after beating your opponent, Killer Instinct would ban you from competitive play, at least as I recall it. So that's totally fine. If you don't want people to be taunting or being disrespectful, then by all means, ban the teabagging and the emoting and the shooting of bodies after killing them. I think that's fine. You're totally within your right to do that. I'm not arguing that everyone needs to be taunted and teabagged every time they're killed. I'm just making the simple, sane argument that getting teabagged in a video game is not getting sexually assaulted in real life. Now, to go a bit further, I do think there is a bit of merit to the claim that in VR chat or virtual reality things are a bit different. There are some creepy fucking dudes in VR chat, and I absolutely think that there is potential and have been a couple of examples of really creepy dudes getting very handsy handsy is a term I'm using loosely because it's VR, but getting really weird and up in people's face and personal space in the virtual world, and I do think that can border on sexual harassment and can actually make people feel violated because you are really like in there. VR is a pretty different experience than to like a Valorant. So I can absolutely understand and sympathize with someone that might go into virtual reality space and encounter some grimy, grody, Cheeto-dusted, fingered, shit-stained, underweared, mouth-breathing, creepy guy that follows them around and makes disgusting remarks about how he's touching himself while also touching your avatar in the game, never leaving you alone, and just being all up in your shit, then yeah, I completely agree that is like actual sexual harassment and all of that. But that's completely different than watching your teammate get teabagged in Valorant. I can absolutely see someone being deeply disturbed by having an encounter with someone like that in virtual reality, but I can't see anyone actually believing that watching a teabag in Valorant is watching real sexual assault and being traumatized by it. That is just so unbelievably silly to me. It really is. This just screams like it was somebody looking for something to make an issue out of, and they thought that this would be low-hanging fruit that some people would agree with them on, and some people did, but overall, I think most people can recognize that there's a massive difference between a video game taunt and a real-world, traumatic, life-ruining experience. It's so disgusting to me, honestly, to even compare a Valorant teabag to a legitimate sexual assault event. It just feels so vile to take something that serious and bring it down to this level and make it so petty. It blows my mind. This is just something that rubbed me the wrong way since the second I started reading the thread. Obviously, it's been 3 fucking days that it's just been marinating in my brain, so much so that I've now made an entire video ranting about it. But yeah, that whole thread did actually spark a couple of news outlets picking it up and saying that there's a debate on whether or not video game teabagging is actual sexual assault, and I think that's such a disingenuous representation of what happened. It wasn't a debate. It was some people with the worst takes of all time, and then most people employing common sense that no, teabagging in a video game is not equivalent to a real-world sexual assault. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit and just get it all out of my system. That's about it. So yeah. I am filthy pig stink greasy right now, and I was just about to hop in the shower, get all clean and bathed with my cheeky soap, but as I was getting the towel, I had a memory hit my hippocampus like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast. Earlier today when I was streaming during a tournament, I saw a ton of people ask me for hours what I thought of Watchmojo making fools of themselves. Like the Watchmojo crash out is what they were saying. And when I saw it initially, I had to do like a triple take, because I hadn't seen the name Watchmojo in who knows how long. I'm telling you, 2026 is dusting off some fucking old school villain cameos here, like James Charles and now Watchmojo. So I decided to pump the brakes on the whole hygiene thing so I could take a look at this before I lost the memory again forever, just have it fall into the void. And it is kind of wacky, so I do kind of want to yap about it because it's really goofy. And Watchmojo is, again, a name that I think probably most of you haven't thought of in a long time. They were one of like the earliest corpo slop YouTube channels that capitalized off of, here's the 5 most terrifying Disney deaths, here's the 8 most important lessons we learned from The Poop That Took a Pee, the musical, that kind of thing. It was just algorithm bait in the early-ish YouTube era that caught fire, blew up, and they became like a conglomerate. Nowadays, you never hear that name brought up, not even as an insult. It's just a forgotten relic of the first wave of corporatization of YouTube content. But they didn't close their doors and sail off into the sunset. They still are out there with a sad whimper, just petering through and still desperately clinging to their formula that doesn't really work anymore, but they're still just tooting out the slime goop that they always did. 13 times toothpicks appeared in Quentin Tarantino films, or top 10 moments AI made the internet mad, that kind of shit. And recently, they made a comment that everyone has been dunking on, and that's why Watchmojo is being talked about right now because people are making fun of them for their crash out.
Well, a YouTuber known as Voyan released a video called Watchmojo's Downfall Should Be Celebrated. The video talks about how Watchmojo was some of the first slop content on YouTube and has slowly decreased in views over the years. Not that their content was ever high quality, but it's definitely gotten a little bit worse.
A little bit worse? What are you smoking? Get off the crack pipe, Buster. Who doesn't want to look at the top 10 AI-generated songs? That's some heat right there. They're cooking. I think they're about to enter their golden age again. I got a hunch. Anyway, a YouTuber named Voyan made a video covering kind of just like the whole history of Watchmojo, the time period in which it existed, where it was prominent, and also where it is today and how everything's kind of unraveled for them. Anyway, it is a video that is pretty harsh on Watchmojo. And, well, they weren't about to take that on their bellies. They weren't just gonna bend over for them. So, they decided to fight back. And what battlefield did they choose for this pugilistic combat with a mean YouTube video about them? You guessed it, the YouTube comment section. They left a little piece of their mind down there, and it's pretty embarrassing. They opened strong by saying, "The day no one talks you is the day you are irrelevant, so thank you." They couldn't even get their first sentence coherent. The day no one talks you, huh? That seems like some shit that someone would rapidly type in a League of Legends solo queue game as they are melting down from ending. How do you even fuck that up? They are a company. This isn't just a guy. This is a company that's posting this, by the way. Okay, never heard of your channel, and I admit I didn't see the video, but a few points. Yeah, these are going to be really strong points. When you haven't even watched the fucking video you're responding to, what in tarnation? In 2006, when we first started, we were obviously a bit ahead of the curve. In 2012, when every channel was some vlogger sitting on the couch, we mastered our signature style, and many cried as it looked more like VH1, MTV, ESPN, and not what the vocal minority viewed as YouTube content, aka corporate brand shit. That was the complaint, that it felt soulless, that you were just delivering off of like, here's 5 games, okay, and there they are. That was the complaint. It didn't look like VH1, MTV, or ESPN. It looked like just fucking montage of 5 things that you found on Reddit that you put into your top 5 games that have punching mechanics. That was what people were talking about there. The challenge in media is staying relevant, keeping your audience guessing, etc. There's what guesswork is there with a Watchmojo list? What the fuck? Companies like BuzzFeed, Vice, Vox, and channels that inspired themselves by us, by their own admission, all came and went. We managed to both keep our OG fans happy and innovate. Is there such thing as a Watchmojo fan? I feel like that's not real. That's just a fairy tale. That's like being a lobotomy enthusiast. I feel like Watchmojo doesn't have fans. It has bots or has people that just had the YouTube running in the background and Watchmojo came on through autoplay. Or 12 years ago, they saw the title 8 times that sci-fi movies used a whoopee cushion. Some shit like that. And then they stumbled across a Watchmojo video. But I don't think there's people that are like actively salivating over the next Watchmojo release. Like, I can't wait to see what AI-generated song is popping this time around. Can't wait for Watchmojo to deliver. If by downfall you mean being a survivor, having 100 plus FTEs who earn their living with us, then I will take it. How does Watchmojo have 100 plus full-time employees? I'm assuming that's what FTE stands for. There's no way. That has to be a lie, or that is the most bloated company for the simplest dog shit ever. That has to be the easiest job on the planet. They're patting themselves on the back for still drooling out the lists, but it's not like they're doing well. That's kind of like one of the big points of the video they're responding to that they admit they haven't even watched. Like, they're hanging on in the same way that Blockbuster is. Like, yeah, there's still one left, but you wouldn't really call it, like, super healthy, but at least Blockbuster has its own charm to it. Watchmojo has nothing. But they're over here like, any publicity is good publicity, you're talking about us, so how the fuck is that irrelevant? Checkmate. Also, this may be inside baseball, but you are aware that a VOD is YouTube 1.0, and the platform has evolved, right? I could break it down for you, but why bother? Hint, viewers are spending nearly an hour per watch session watching our content. We are, in the ways that matter, more pertinent than ever. Holy delusion. Yikes. As per Soundmojo, again, think of 2012 when the vocal minority whined and then we got the last laugh. Then they sign off with a mic drop. Haters, envious, jealous people are fuel to our fire. The reply right under it had a big giggle out of me. It says, this is like the Ouija board speaking back. I thought that was a banger. Pretty stupid to respond to something they didn't even watch in the first place, and they just come across as like a bitter, delusional douchebag organization. What a dumb response. And again, they didn't watch the video, so they have like nothing to even like refute or even really dive in about. They just instead suck their own cock about like how long they've been around and how they were ahead of the curve. And actually, based on the data that matters, are more pertinent now than ever, which is just provably false. They are not. Unless they're going by like watch time metrics where they themselves are juicing it by auto-playing to bots or something, they are not as pertinent as ever. Anyone can look that up and see that that's just a full-blown lie. Maybe they're trying to like convince investors or something, I don't know, but it's not going to work on like sane people. It's just a really baffling decision because they didn't need to like respond to it or anything. And it's not like they're known for clapping back against people that make fun of them. It just feels so out of nowhere. So it is wacky, and I did want to yap about it because why? why do that? Maybe it is just like one person who has the password to the account that felt personally attacked by it. Maybe it's the owner. I don't know. But yeah, pretty silly. That's really about it. So yeah. Hey there, you having a good day? Well, fuck you, because everyone on this subreddit isn't. And you know why they're not having a good day? Because they read or saw something that had a dog in it. Today I'd like to cosplay as those hands that drag you down to hell, but I'd like to drag you to a place that's even more joyless than hell. It's a subreddit dedicated to this crazy hate of dogs. Just the fact that dogs exist bother these people to their very core and ruin their day. God forbid if they see like a Facebook post with a dog in it, or if they hear a dog bark, they go like a fucking full Winter Soldier episode and leave like a 9-paragraph post on this subreddit complaining about it and how dogs should be euthanized out of the world or some shit. It's crazy. I'm not going to say the subreddit's name because I don't want them harassed or anything. Plus, I'd like to preserve it as this nice little specimen for the lunacy to check in on. I don't want it contaminated and polluted, so please, if anyone finds it, don't go out of your way to ruin it. But there's this whole subreddit dedicated for people to go in there and just vent about how much they hate the fact that dogs exist and tell their stories of when they encountered dogs and how they wanted to kill them or stuff like that, or why dogs shouldn't exist, etc. It is so sad. So unbelievably sad. Now, this also exists for cats, but today I want to focus on the dog one because they're a lot more hateful for some reason. Now, just in case one of these people from the subreddit is watching this video, I'm going to go ahead and call in one of my dogs. That just the sight of a dog makes these people just fucking melt. It's like taking sunlight to a vampire, like rubbing garlic in their face. Kata, come here. Kata. Good girl. What a good girl. Yes. All right. Now, please, come on, hop up. Join me as we take a look at the most unhappy subreddit on all of Reddit. Good girl. I'd like to start with the most reasonable of everything on the subreddit. So this is, I downvote anything with a dog in it. They go on to explain they're tired of seeing dog content. You know, there's nothing wrong with not liking dogs. You don't have to fucking love dogs or animals in general for that matter. But to go out of your way to make a whole subreddit and multiple posts talking about how much you actively hate dogs and the fact that dogs exist, that's pretty insane. Like, that's pretty wild shit. To just be so bothered by the fact that dogs exist in the world is such a weird thing to harp on. Like, what's next? Are you going to be outraged at the fact that you can't see air with your own two eyes? Just fucking weird. But anyway, like with everything on the internet, the comments is where shit really pops off, so I'll read a couple. Same. I downvote anything with a dog in it, including memes. I'm on several food Reddits, and at least 3 to 5 times a day I see a picture of someone's food and a dog in the picture, and they mention the doggo. The dogs are usually looking ultra pathetic in the pictures and begging for the food in said picture. It's also pandering for upvotes / awards to have the dog in the picture because doggos are so trendy right now. I mean, I don't care. If there's even remotely a dog in it, I downvote it, and I'm not sorry about it. Yeah, this comment really reads like someone who doesn't care. Sorry, not sorry, just hate dogs. It calls them ultra pathetic. Like, what a weird thing to attribute to an animal. Oh yeah, I was driving around and I saw this fucking pathetic looking dog. Can't even do a bicep curl. Probably has a negative KD in Fortnite. It was so sad, so I just fucking spit at it. Like, it's not nearly as good as a human. Dogs can't do what humans do. How fucking sad and pathetic are dogs, am I right, humans? This person's whole identity revolves around their unique trait of hating dogs to an absurd degree. The fact they can't see a dog in a picture with food without getting irrationally angry about it. Like the other commenter said, what if it's just a dog's ear accidentally? And then someone replies, well, if it's a food subreddit, then they shouldn't have a dog so close to their food. Ew. Oh, ew, how yucky, there's a dog in the kitchen. Meanwhile, this guy probably doesn't even wash his hands after taking a shit. Probably doesn't even wipe his own ass either. Like, these are probably the filthiest people on this subreddit, and yet they put all of that on dogs. It's like they're projecting all of their insecurities on dogs. So fucking goofy. Sometime I sort by new, just so I can downvote any dog posts. I hope to catch them before they start trending. That's a great idea. Also, by the way, that is the same person who said dogs shouldn't be anywhere around food, like in the same fucking city as food. Now that's just asshole behavior, like Jesus, let people have their fun. Someone says, you know what, that's a little too far. But luckily they have a reasonable response, very level-headed. You want to know what is asshole behavior? Having a big dog in an apartment, letting a dog bark all day while you are at work, thinking a dog's life is more valuable than a human's. Okay, calm down here, big shot. Where did you get any of that from the post, which just says I downvote dog posts? Where did all that come from? This is like an onion where you have to peel apart the layers to really figure this shit out. It's so unrelated, you know? It's like getting in an argument with me, or like, Charlie, you're really bad at basketball, and then I turn around and be like, you know what's really bad? The fact that my dad doesn't think I'm successful and laughs at me because I'm short. Like, you know, where's that coming from, Charlie? That's not what we were talking about. In this post, this person was just saying this is kind of asshole behavior to be doing what you're doing, downvoting new posts just because you don't like dogs. And then they turn around and go off on a completely unrelated tangent about valuing dogs' lives more than humans. I do too, referring to downvoting dog posts. Lately there have been a Louis Vuitton ad with an ugly-ass dog in a handbag. I couldn't be more disgusted. Why are luxury brands associating themselves with one of the filthiest animals in the world? That's a pretty big leap, calling dogs the filthiest animals in the world. There's animals that literally live in shit. And you know, humans aren't that clean either. In fact, I would argue humans are dirtier than most animals. Like, you can catch all kinds of diseases from other humans that you can't from animals. I mean, like, you could definitely make the argument humans are actually far grosser. The guy who commented this is probably 15 days without a shower by now. You know, there's plenty of arguments that you could make that make dogs not the filthiest animal in the world. In fact, I don't think at any point you could even make the argument they are. Like, this is just a really delusional post. Making my boyfriend and his dog move out. So this is a lot to digest here. Chapter 1 is spent introducing the characters and setting the scene. This lady has just closed on her dream home and her boyfriend is moving in and he has a dog. Chapter 2, we're introduced to the main villain of this anime arc, who also happens to be the protagonist. So this is her talking about the dog. But I hate him, he smells, he's neurotic, he's super weird about nail trim, so I'm constantly hearing the tap 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 of dog claws on my floor. I just hate it. Because of his claws, the Trex deck I have currently is totally scratched to all hell. Thankfully the buyer has a dog, so she didn't mind, and it didn't cost me anything. He's made pee rings all over the lawn, and I don't feel like I can walk barefoot out there anymore. My house smells like dog despite weekly baths, and he's of course scared of water, so bath time is mostly a war we must wage. I finally told my boyfriend today I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can live with a dog, especially in my new house. This lady is about to throw away a relationship because she just doesn't like dogs. I knew I didn't want to, but it felt very good to say it. It sucks because my boyfriend said he won't let the dog go. That's fine. I'll live in a $500,000 home by myself, and he can rent an effing apartment. That means fucking apartment. She's venting. She's getting very angry, you know. She's making a stand, you know, fuck dogs, and he can live on the goddamn street and get pissed on by homeless people with his dog. I don't care. I'm better alone. I don't know about the status of our relationship. I'm gonna tell you it's probably over. He probably saw this psycho side of you. It's honestly been rocky for a bit, but I think it's mostly due to his dog being a constant source of friction. I'm not scared of being single though, so if that ends up being the best for me, I'll do it. I'm just glad I found this sub because sometimes it feels so isolating not liking dogs. Thanks for reading. Felt good to write it out. Well, this basket of sunshine here seems pretty rational. There's not liking dogs, and then there's this, throwing away your entire relationship and future plans because of not liking a dog. That's very different. You see, in a relationship, I don't know how many you've been in or if you even know how they work, but not both people are the same person, so they're going to have different likes and dislikes. That's totally normal and natural. There's compromises that you two make together with communication instead of some kind of crazy ultimatum outrage where it was either me or the dog. Get the fuck out of here because I hate dogs. That dog's claws tap on the floor and it makes me fucking mad. Get the fuck out of here. Like that's a different level. That's not disliking dogs, that's you being crazy. That's you having an irrational hatred of an animal. I can finally shout it from the rooftops. I am finally dog free. After 4 years of piss, shit, dirt, filth, grime, dog hair, foul odor, fights with my spouse. Probably not the dog's fault, you're probably just a really shitty significant other if I had to guess, especially with this kind of weird post. Annoyance, rage, resentment, hate, disgust. And holding my tongue more than I ever thought humanly possible, I can finally announce my family and I are dog free! Fuck that piece of shit. I am so done with her. She's gone and she's never coming back. I've been singing and dancing all day. I've already started cleaning and scrubbing her from my life. It's a long process to clean every last piece of shit that has her filth on it, but I started already, and it's so therapeutic. Tomorrow, I'm gonna bleach the whole balcony. I'm so excited. I'm gonna vacuum the house about 10 times and then steam clean it another 2 to 3 times. I'm running the pet dishes through the dishwasher 2 to 3 times. We still have a cat that uses the pet dishes. I've already thrown her kennel out to the dumpster. I just want to scrub every last memory of this shit beast out of my life, and it feels so good to do it. She has caused me nothing but grief every day for the last 4 years. I hate her. I hate her so much. I'm so fucking done with her. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone. I guarantee this person's significant other also made a Reddit post this day saying, I can finally shout it from the rooftops. I am finally free from my crazy fucking significant other, this wacko, this maniac. What a post. And I like that they also admit they still have a cat. Cats literally have a litter box inside of your house full of shit and piss and filth. That is an actual cauldron of filth in your house. At least if you train a dog properly, they will go to the bathroom outside, which is out of your house, which means out of your immediate vicinity. You have all kinds of fucking cat shit particles floating around. I like cats not as much as dogs, but cats have a fucking litter box in your house, so if you're going by just pure, poop and shit in the house, cats literally do it inside. Dogs do it outside when they're trained. This is probably just the worst dog owner of all time. Judging by this post, I think that can be said with a high level of certainty, just not very competent when it comes to animals. Or relationships, for that matter, since apparently this dog drove a wedge in their actual fucking relationship somehow. I hate seeing dogs on cat-dominated subs. Your shit breed isn't cute. It's always titled, Are Dogs Welcome? And the images of an ugly ass sniffer barely doing whatever the sub is for. The comments are idiots simping like, oh yes, haha, love your pupper, I would let it shit on my front yard, ahaha. I wish these subs would ban dog photos. I'm there to see cute cats, not dogs. If I wanted to see a fucking dog, I would go to drooling wastes of oxygen or some shit. Fuck your stupid dogs, Kimberly. I want to see legitimately cute things on my screen. Yeah, I'd let a cat shit in my house, haha. This is such a dumb argument. Dogs shit outside, cats shit inside. You like cats, but you point out that dogs shit in the front yard. Your cat is literally shitting where you sleep. Again, I like cats, but these arguments are absolutely ridiculous. You're a fucking idiot. Not liking dogs is one thing. Not liking dogs on a cat sub, totally reasonable. But to take it to an extreme, it makes no sense. There's so much on this subreddit. I only shared with you the top posts of the last year because I don't want to get too deep into it. So I just wanted to share the top post recently for the year. It's crazy. All of them also play this victim card where it's like, we're crucified for not liking dogs. People just can't accept that some people just don't like dogs. No, you fucking lunatic. No one is mad at you for not liking dogs. It's taking it to this crazy extreme where you make it your whole personality trait or the deciding factor in a relationship. That's to an absurd level. It's just so extreme and ridiculous. There was a post on there about this lady who in her Tinder bio changed it to "I fucking hate dogs" and went into detail about not liking dogs, and she was saying how she doesn't get matches anymore or something like that. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's dogs. It's the fact that you have this crazy hatred for something that you're just so willing to just wear on your sleeve. Like, change that whole thing. Instead of it being like, "I fucking hate dogs," change it to something, "I fucking hate Pepsi." If you wrote a paragraph about how much you fucking hate Pepsi, people would still look at you the same way and think you're weird. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's dogs. It's the fact with how hard you go in this hatred for it. Like, it's so weird. That's why people often look at you as like a circus act or like something goofy to read and be surprised about. To hate an animal to this level. There's plenty of things to not like about dogs. Sure, some dogs are aggressive. Maybe you had a bad experience with a dog. People have died from dog maulings. Yeah, that's absolutely happened. It's happened with cats as well, which they all, well, not all, but a lot of them on this subreddit seem to like cats, but it's also happened with cats too. Like, it happens. So there is things to not like about it. So no one really blames you if you're not a huge fan after having an experience or reading something that scared you. But to have this level of fixation on your hatred for an animal is crazy. There's a lot of posts in here where they celebrate when they get dogs taken away from their owners or get their neighbors kicked out for having dogs in a neighborhood. There's a lot of posts about that. Now, some of them actually were pretty decent. Like, there were owners of a dog that weren't treating the dog well, and they got the dog separated from the owner, so maybe the dog can find a better home. Those are fine. But then there's other posts cheering them on, like, my neighbor's dog barks a lot, so I called the police on him, hoping that the dog would get shot by the police. Like, that's the craziness that people look at you and raise an eyebrow at. It's not the fact that you're not a huge fan of dogs. It's to have everything about you be hating dogs is weird. And that's why people find you to be this interesting specimen to read about on Reddit. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya. When it comes to Twitter, I'll usually read a tweet, get a frown on my face, and then forget about it 2 or 3 minutes later because Twitter is just a constant stream of the dumbest shit all the time. It's just an actual cesspool of diarrhea constantly flowing through it. But occasionally there are tweets that just stick with me. And there's one that's just been living rent-free in my ass for the last 2 weeks, and I just want to talk about it today. It comes from Seth Rogen. I'm sure you already know what tweets I'm about to mention because I'm super late to this one, but I don't care. Just like puking while having a bad hangover, I've got to get it out of my system to feel better. So our story starts just like every other fairy tale, with a robbery in LA. Casey Neistat makes a tweet. So our cars got robbed this morning because Los Angeles is a crime-riddled third world shithole of a city. But tremendous appreciation and gratitude to the hardworking officers at the LAPD West LA, who not only arrested the motherfucker, but they got all our stolen goods back. That's about all there is to it. That's all she wrote right there. This fairy tale has a happy ending. Shrek gets the girl, case closed. Like, there's really not a whole lot to really dissect here, and you wouldn't expect this to be a controversial thing to say. His car got broken into, people got arrested, and they got their stuff back. I mean, that's a complete adventure right there. Like, the only people that could really be offended about a tweet like that would be the people that got arrested. Like, if they're on Twitter on their phone in jail, like, hey, fuck you, buddy. I would have got away with it, too, if it wasn't for that meddling dog. But then out of nowhere, from the top turnbuckle, comes Seth Rogen making a surprise appearance at WrestleMania on Twitter. I guess he's like the head of tourism for LA, because he got mad that he called LA a shithole of a city. That's what he took issue with. So Seth Rogen replies, "Dude, I've lived here for over 20 years. You're nuts, haha." Actually, I'll do the Seth Rogen laugh. Yeah. It's lovely here. Don't leave anything valuable in it. It's called living in a big city. Bro, just don't get your car broken into. It's that easy. It's called living in a big city. You should expect your shit to be constantly violated because you're living in a big city. Don't leave anything valuable in your car because you're gonna lose it. Duh. Dummy, fucking idiot, this is your fault now. You're the one that is to blame for this. You don't want your valuables stolen? Don't leave them in the car in LA. LA is wonderful, but just expect all your shit to get broken into, so plan accordingly by keeping less valuable stuff in your car. Love LA, it's great. It's such a stupid thing to come in and say out of nowhere. Even Casey Neistat, who plays nice with everyone, is taken aback by it. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's so outrageously stupid. Very rarely will you see somebody defend LA like tooth and nail, Obviously, there's people that like LA, especially extremely wealthy people like Seth Rogen, who found crazy success there. But it's pretty rare that there's someone as delusionally off the mark so consistently like Seth Rogen, and this is the perfect example of it. He finds the one spot and the one opinion that almost no one agrees with. He's also just not really shy about showing that he feels superior to the average person. Like, he took personal offense that Casey Neistat said LA was a shithole, and then like shames him for being upset that his car was broken into. Bro, just get another car, get other valuable things, it's that easy. So Casey Neistat responds, I can still be mad though, right? Feels so violated. Asking his permission to be mad, like, oh, if Seth Rogen says I can't be mad, then I guess I'm okay with it. So then Seth Rogen replies, yeah, oh yeah, you can be mad, but I guess I don't personally view my car as an extension of myself, and I've never really felt violated any of the 15 or so times my car was broken into. This dude is just leaving his car out like a candy bucket on Halloween, it seems. Once a guy accidentally left a cool knife in my car, so if it keeps happening, you might get a little treat. This is certainly up there with the wackiest, stupid shit I've read on Twitter from a celebrity. It's baffling that not only did his brain come up with this as a tweet, but it passed the filters that his brain has to post it. He's like, yep, this looks good. And he hit tweet, and it's still not deleted. And I'm glad it's not. I'm glad that he's just going to stick to his guns and leave this shit up. This is something that I feel is going to haunt him forever, because he is still getting clowned on to this day for this tweet. It's been 2 weeks now, and I don't think it'll stop anytime soon, because it is just that outrageously stupid. Because Seth Rogen doesn't view his car as an extension of himself, he's totally fine with people using it like a fucking fleshlight. They just treat his cars like a cum dumpster, and they dive right in, and Seth Rogen gives them a nice thumbs up, I suppose. And I'm assuming that extends to everything in Seth Rogen's life. As a lot of people have also pointed out, how does Seth Rogen feel about, like, his house? Is that an extension of himself? Because if not, why not just have a bunch of people go into your house, Seth, and take all your shit? Just let everyone have a field day. If your car's not an extension of yourself, your house, your property, it's not either. So I'm assuming he's just going to open his doors and let people come take all of his valuable possessions and high-five them on the way out, baby. I also love how he's defending LA by mentioning his car's been broken into 15 times in the time that he's lived there. That doesn't make people excited about LA, Seth, you fucking psychopath. Not everyone can afford to replace all their valuables after their car's been broken into 15 times, you goofball. And I also love that he closes it off by saying that one of them even left a knife in his car, as a little treat, a tip. To me, that sounds like either a threat or they're trying to frame you for a crime. They fucking left a tool that they used at some other crime scene in Seth's car, and these fucking idiots just manhandling it, getting his fingerprints all over it, hangs it up on his fireplace mantle. Eventually the cops find it and connect him to some unrelated crime. Seth goes to jail for life or some shit. Like, I don't know who gets excited about someone leaving a knife in their car after it just got broken into. Like, it's just, the delusion here is unbelievable. So the conversation starts to fizzle out here, but it continues. Casey Neistat says, I didn't get any treats, he just took the decorations for my daughter's 7th birthday party and left bloody handprints. Yeah, obviously he's not going to get any treats. It's not like the Tooth Fairy broke into his car and left him some money for what they took. Like, it was a robbery. I don't know how Seth can possibly justify it by saying just let your car keep getting stolen and eventually you'll get a knife. Like, it's fucking silly. And then he says, serious question, how did you get your car broken into 15 times? Which is a great question, because you really have to go out of your way to get it broken into that many times, I feel. Seth says, I lived in West Hollywood for 20 years and parked on the street. Also, it sucks your shit was stolen, but LA is not some shithole city. As far as big cities go, it has a lot going for it. Yeah, especially if you're a burglar who knows what kind of car Seth Rogen drives, because apparently you can just go in there and take all that shit with no consequence, because Seth doesn't give a fuck. His car's getting broken into almost once a year at this rate. This is where the interaction stops, and you just have to wonder, what was Seth Rogen thinking? Like, who did he think this appealed to besides, like, the extremely rich Hollywood elites? Like, there's no normal person that's going to read that and be like, wow, how noble of Seth, just giving away his shit like that and accepting that beautiful knife. I don't know really what he was expecting to happen. But it got me thinking, what is the worst tweet I ever made? And I think I found it. I tweeted this back in 2019. I said, what the fuck, the chupacabra is real, he just fucked my grandpa. I don't regret posting the tweet, but I do really regret that I misspelled chupacabra. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this because I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah. There's no worse feeling than when you engage in an internet argument with some anonymous asshole, and then it turns out that that asshole is extremely talented. Today I have a very sad story to share with you where the villain gets the last laugh. Real life isn't like anime, where the good guys always win. Sometimes the bully comes and puts your head in the toilet and flushes. So it all starts with this video. A YouTuber posts their best performance of an impossible piece of music called Rush E. Now, obviously, I'm a fucking Neanderthal when it comes to piano. I don't know anything about any major pieces except from, like, your big ones like Mozart and Bach. So I had never heard of Rush E before, so I did a little research. Rush E was actually a song created as a meme that is quite literally impossible for any human being to play. And I don't mean that as like it's extremely difficult, I mean it is genuinely impossible. You would need 15 fucking arms, and even then you would struggle. Let me go ahead and show you where it started, the genesis of Rush E. If any human being actually performed this song as written here, it would probably end the world on the spot, or bring about the heat death of the entire universe. It would signal Armageddon. It is quite literally an impossible piece of music that was made to be a joke. However, some piano players on YouTube tried their best to kind of change it around a little bit, mess with the arrangement in order to make it almost possible to play on the piano, which is the video I just showed you there, which is giving a very spirited attempt at making it happen. And I thought it was very good. Of course, I'm not a piano expert by any means, but most people that watched it also agreed that it was extremely impressive what he was able to do. And this spawned an argument in the YouTube comments. YouTube comments are the cesspool of the internet. It is absolutely fucking deplorable down there very often. But in this comment section, it was overwhelmingly positive. But just like everywhere on the internet, there has to be that douchebag that comes in and shits on everyone's fun, just ruins the entire positive atmosphere of everything. They drop their pants and goatsy themselves and just makes everyone feel worse. Their presence making everything more negative. Keep in mind, this piece is literally impossible to play. You saw it. It looked like a Toho bullet hell game. But that didn't stop some enlightened Redditor from demanding perfection. It actually comes from this comment, which is a very nice comment from a guy named Just a Guy Who Likes Hentai. He says, "How can you dislike this? I don't see anyone else actually playing this." You know, that's just a very wholesome thing. Like, you know, this is so good, I can't imagine someone not liking it. It's just being nice, you know? Obviously, there's going to be people that don't like it, but it's just a very encouraging comment. But it summoned a demon. A piano-playing demon named Fanshin. Fanshin replies to that comment saying, "Probably because it was mediocre, no offense." Yeah, no offense, buddy, but you just fucking suck and you should be embarrassed that you posted this video. It actually made me physically ill. I puked and was so offended by your awful mediocre playing that I broke up with my own girlfriend in protest. This isn't constructive criticism. I saw a lot of people defending this saying he was just offering criticism or answering the question. No, he's just being an asshole. There's nothing constructive about this. You just saying that it's not good without saying like where they could improve isn't really constructive criticism. It's just you being a douchebag. And obviously he wasn't genuinely answering the question in the comments of how can anyone dislike this, because it wasn't a real question. It was just an encouraging statement. It's like when you get told a story like, "Can you believe my parents got divorced?" And then your friend responds with, "Yeah, I can, because your parents are fucking selfish sluts." It's like, well, I wasn't actually asking you if you can believe it, you know? It's not like a real question. It was just a supportive comment. So there's really no justifying being a douchebag here other than just being a dick. So then the guy responds saying, "Was it? I'd like to see you try. So come on, give us an awe-inspiring performance." Spoiler alert, he would soon regret issuing this challenge. Fanshin responds, "Oh boy, you will embarrass yourself. I'll show you what a good performance of this piece sounds like." To which the hentai fan says, "Then do it, stop talking, and do it." Now, 10 times out of 10 on the internet, when some anonymous asshole makes statements like this, you don't expect them to follow through on it, and even less often you will expect them to be good at anything. But this is the exception. This is the anomaly. This is probably the first time in history someone has actually followed through on a statement like this and actually been good at it. Fanchin responds saying, maybe you can pay me, then I'll be motivated, LMFAO. He's pretty arrogant and pompous, to which Hentai responds, so being known as a jealous, contrarian liar until you post your own rendition isn't a good enough motivation for you? Sorry, but that's all you're gonna get. And then Fanchin again, he's twirling that cartoonishly evil mustache and says, haha, sure, why not? Fun summer project, maybe I'll get more views. And then other people kind of come in here and tell him to shut up, they don't really like his negative attitude. The comment section starts to gain a little bit of infamy, so more people come in with the popcorn to watch from the sidelines. You can see the war has erupted, now we're watching the commenters fight. Another challenge was issued saying upload something by Scott, that guy, other than MLR or Entertainer. Again, I'm not familiar with piano pieces, so I don't even know what that challenge is. I'm assuming it's difficult. And then eventually Fanchin comes back and says, wouldn't have the confidence to upload a performance that I'm not pleased with, but yes, props to the guy for attempting it. It's just this could have been played with much more accuracy had he spent more time polishing, which is something I will show. It's pretty much learned a tempo, but I'm striving for consistency and clarity. So he finally gives like almost a constructive criticism there, and then he gives his rendition of this piece. And unfortunately, it fucking slaps. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the hentai guy deleted his channel after that. I mean, it's unlucky that the guy that he was arguing with was the only person on the internet who happens to talk shit anonymously and be able to back it up with real talent. You really hate to see that. You hate to see an anonymous internet asshole turn out to be really good at something. That's a horrible feeling. I know when he watched this video, like when he dropped the video, he was probably still so confident, like, yeah, this is gonna fucking blow. And then he started listening, and as his erection grew, he felt more and more shame. Hentai guy was just sitting there stewing in anger, like, fuck, he's actually good. Damn you, curses! Because, I mean, that's how I felt, and I wasn't even involved in the argument. But I think this also illustrates an extremely important point. No matter how talented you are, it can be overshadowed by a shitty attitude. A lot of the comments here, and even in the Reddit thread, were just kind of saying the same meme of pretty mediocre, no offense. Like, not even respecting his very clear talent, because they don't like him. If you're insufferable and unlikable, people aren't going to respect your skill. And I think that's... Now, granted, it's not everyone, because the video is still overwhelmingly liked, but it could have been a truly positive experience had he just gone about it in a much better way. Like, you know, this wasn't the best rendition of the song, but I do appreciate the effort that went into it, and in fact, it inspired me to want to learn it myself. And then he drops this video, and then, you know, that's a lot better, I think, and you'd have more people on your side, as opposed to just people brushing off your extreme level of talent here because you were an asshole in the comments to someone that was just proud of their own rendition of the piece. Like, his arrangement of this is like a custom arrangement, obviously, because you can't play it as written. His arrangement is extremely solid, and his performance is unreal. Like, absolutely unreal. And to have that just thrown to the side because he was super unlikable is a real shame, I think. So, I mean, this was a pretty wild experience because I've never seen this before. Like I said, 10 times out of 10, when you're arguing with someone on the internet anonymously, that person behind the keyboard's usually a coward that doesn't really have a lot going for them. But in this really rare instance, that anonymous guy was a fucking piano prodigy. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you all. That's about it. See ya. Did you see the drama about a Boston Marathon runner shitting in a dude's yard? The dude complained on Reddit, and then the Boston subreddit defended the runner that shit in the dude's yard. I'll check it out. Okay, so this is kind of like the patient zero here. One of the marathon runners just took a shit in my yard. Video inside. Looks like there was hard evidence here. No questions to be asked. They couldn't have tried to blame it on like an animal or something. There was apparently porta potties throughout the route. Man, everything's fucking deleted. This one's not. Someone said it's an emergency. Why would you approach her during this? It was probably embarrassing. She took a shit in his yard. OP responded by saying she should have the courtesy of not shitting on my lawn. There's no possible way her actions can ever be justified. I'm on OP's side here. Like, you can shit other places. There's porta potties throughout there. Plenty that you can do. But yeah, the comments are more on the side of the runner. I think this is one of those astronomically rare circumstances where it can actually be justified. What do you want to happen now? Don't fuck up this woman's life because she didn't want to shit herself. Just don't shit in his lawn. What do you mean, what do you want to happen now? Put her on blast. This lady just fucking shit in my yard. Why? Did she pick up the shit after? No. She left it there and continued running based on the other comments I've seen. Oh my god. Wait, these comments, this is like the most Reddit shit I've ever seen. The comment said, OP should take a lesson from this post. Being a decent human actually requires some effort. On her part, like, just to have the decency not to shit in the yard. Yeah, here it loaded. Yes, you have some ground to stand on because this person... Yes, you have some ground to stand on, too, because this person some personal shame. But what else do you get from it? And all of OP's responses there are so focused on my, and even stating in no circumstances is this justified, quite showing of how this person is developed. No, yeah, obviously he has some ground to stand on, but that ground is covered in shit. That's the problem. What the fuck? So focused on my. Yeah, it's his fucking yard that she started shitting on. What? This is crazy. This is crazy. At least this one's got downvotes. The other one was updated. But he probably got downvoted because of terrible grammar. His grammar was more shit than that lady's ass. So they probably downvoted for that, because the other ones are updated. At least we're getting to a point where some of these awful takes are fucking downvoted. Damn, OP, you didn't even offer the bathroom. Boo. Right? That's the humane thing to do. Do you want to clean up in my house? You're right, OP should have been out there with his baby wipes helping her wipe her ass. Maybe get her some Imodium in water while he's at it. Shut the fuck up. You can invite some stranger into your house after she poops in your lawn. Finally, a man in the Boston subreddit with a fucking brain in between their ears. Yeah. What are you talking about? Didn't even offer the bathroom. What's he supposed to do? Be monitoring his ring at every hour of the day, making sure there's not some vigilante pooper coming through? Like fucking rushes out there and cradles her like a baby, dragging her to the bathroom? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What kind of chaos? What kind of madness? What world are we living in? What kind of fantasy? Please, madam, come inside. Use my toilet. Use my facilities, quick. Put your sphincter away. There's better choices. Don't embarrass yourself. Again, at least this one has downvotes. You're acting like someone pooped in your yard for fun. She's running a marathon and didn't know what to do. It's not like she could just go home. Yeah, it's gross, but she was probably already embarrassed about the situation. Fucking hold it till you get to the porta potties, or even at the bare minimum, just shit on public property. Like shit on the street. Just anywhere else. At least bury it. And if you know what, and I'll go a step further. If you're going to shit in someone's yard, at least have the decency to pick it up. Like a dog. Marathon runners shit their pants all the time. Half the sport is being able to push your body to the limits and accept the consequences. I don't know how common it is, but there is an iconic photo of a marathon runner who's approaching the finish line with fucking doo-doo running down both of their legs. And they have like this really grimaced expression on their face. actually just covered in more shit than like a baby who filled their diaper. The video is on Twitter. Let me see. You can't really see anything. This guy's got a huge front lawn. Some people also came around the corner and caught her in the act. I don't know if those are like marathon judges making sure no one poops themselves or something, like the goddamn defecation police, but like 2 people come around the corner and actually watch her shit on this man's lawn. Did she not wipe? Well, she didn't pack baby wipes or toilet paper for the marathon. She didn't expect to be shitting in it. Tactical shit drive-by. Yeah, looks like it. But yeah, she just leaves it. Doesn't even look like she makes an attempt to clean it up. That is foul. So the better option was for her to shit herself instead of going in someone's yard. Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds? Like you'd rather someone be covered in shit and publicly embarrass themselves instead of have a corner of poo on your lawn. It's literally part of the sport. Nearly 60% of marathon runners report shitting themselves. I think you're pulling this out of your ass. This stat is just as shitty as this woman in the yard. Like, I don't believe that. But yeah, there's a couple of other options. Fucking poop in public on the street outside of other people's property, or if you're going to poop on someone's yard, treat it like a dog shitting and literally pick it up after yourself. Yeah, 100%. It looks like that's all we got. That was quite a journey. That was an adventure. First off, runner's diarrhea, as it is known, is a real thing. A study published in the National Library of Medicine in 1992 asked 109 long-distance athletes about their bowel movements during runs. 62% reported that they had stopped for a bowel movement during training. 43% said they had nervous diarrhea before a race, and 51% said they had experienced diarrhea after a race, and 12% reported full-on fecal incontinence while running. That is shockingly high. But that's probably why they have porta potties throughout these marathons, for situations just like this. I guess I don't know how close together those porta potties are, though. Maybe there's like a big gap in between them. Yeah, wild situation. I didn't realize how common poopy pants were during a marathon. I thought that was kind of like an isolated incident. What she did was wrong, but I'm sure in her mind it was sheer panic. Hard to say what you'd do unless you're in the same shoes. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like I said, I don't think this was premeditated. I don't think she planned on shitting in someone's yard that day or anything. But even still, like if you know like the floodgates are opening, I would say just do it on like public land, or at least clean up after yourself. Like find some bushes on public property, shit there, or clean up after yourself at the very least instead of just leave it like it was a hit and run, like a drive-by. Twist, she wasn't even actually running in the marathon. Oh yeah, maybe it's a very nefarious plot. The marathon was just a cover. There was a second shitter on the grassy knoll. This was cool. This was a nice little rabbit hole. I don't even remember who brought that up, but that was interesting.